Hi everyone, welcome back to Ibrox Rangers Review here to finally talk about a Rangers win. Chris, it's been over 3 months since Rangers last won here. They won convincingly today. Not a ton to be learned from the game, but a much better second half performance than the first half. 7 games without a win since for Rangers here at Ibrox. And for the first half, it looked like it might be 8 without a win, but they found a way to turn it around. And they were pretty good in the second half, all things considered.
I think the mood in the press room at half time, we obviously traiped down for a pie and a cup of tea at half time. There was a lot of expletives being uttered by people who were not overly enjoying their afternoon here, because that first 45 minutes was nowhere near good enough. It was really poor stuff from Rangers, poor from Aberdeen as well. Thankfully, second half Rangers stepped it up. Aberdeen didn't. I thought they were largely dreadful for the entire game, but Rangers deserve a lot of credit, I think, for the way they performed second half. You have to say, thoroughly deserved the win. Agreed with Barrie Ferguson in his post-match presser there, talking about I could run over the top of Aberdeen, and he was disappointed. They only won by 4. Rangers could have won by more. Ultimately, I think you would take a 4-0 home win over Aberdeen every day of the week. Goals getting shared around. Shefty getting his first one. Igamane with a pick of them. So we're maybe being slightly picky, but I think an afternoon of some positives at long last here.
Yeah, some positives. Obviously, pre-match we were speaking somewhat negatively about the team with the fact that there wasn't many changes. I think that we'll get on to Oscar Cortez and a couple other things that Barry Ferguson had to say post-match. In the first half, what they were trying to do, I thought, really didn't work. But in the second half, Hamza Igamane coming on helped. That strike makes you think, why is he just not played every single minute in a Rangers shirt? Because for whatever, I just find it surprising the conversation sometimes about Igamane about the fact he's raw, he's got things to learn. Who doesn't have things to learn in that Rangers team over the past few months? He brought a bit of freshness. The score was opened by Václav Černý, 18th goal of the season for him. Finished a really nice Nico Raskin pass, running through the middle. That diamond that Rangers have been playing worked well for that goal. Raskin then gets a second assist before those later goals from Igamane and Chefty. Were giving it to Chefty for his first Rangers goal, came off his back. So let's start on Raskin. He was good today. Another man of the match performance. He was really the topic of conversation in the press conference. This time last year, his Rangers career felt nowhere. This time this year, it looks likely that he's probably going to go and make the club quite a lot of money. And he's not had a flawless domestic season, but he's definitely been the kind of, especially since the turn of the year, he's been the most consistent figure, even if he's not playing in that number 6 position he probably prefers to today.
He is a problem of a different kind for Rangers. There's so many problems within this team, and they've got a problem with a guy that's playing well because he either signs a new contract or there's questions of do you have to move him on. Rangers, they can't allow someone of his quality and of his profile any chance that he's going to run down his contract and leave for free. That would just be monumentally silly. This club has made that mistake previously in the not too distant past. They can't afford to make it with someone like Nico Raskin. I think overall he's had a really good season. It didn't start well for him, obviously that injury in pre-season took him a bit of time to get going, but certainly since the turn of the year, certainly under Barrie, I think he's been really impressive. And adding assists at his game as well. No, a nice pass for Černý for the first. He does really well down the left channel for Dessers for the second. I think that's 9 domestic and 10 in all competitions. Assist wise here, I'm learning. It's taken me all season, but we're finally throwing some numbers at it. Yeah. You actually gave me the numbers, so I can't take too much credit for them. But no, I think he has been an impressive performer overall. It's a big decision though. What do Rangers do with him in the summer? You either sell him or you build this team round about him. I think if you have to tell the fans you would build the team round about him, I don't think you'll get many complaints at all.
Yeah, I think he's going to go. And we will have more stuff on the website this week about his story here at Ibrox, how it came to pass, how he initially came to the club, as well as what's likely to happen this summer. But I think he's more likely to go than stay, and it will be a problem for Rangers to replace him. But that's what they need to do. Hamza Igamane, let's speak about him. He comes off the bench. I tweeted out that in a season of where Rangers have been often entirely unwatchable, he's a very watchable player, and that strike was just the kind of whole move encapsulated him because he gave the ball away a little bit cheaply in the lead up to it, and that is an area of his game that's not great. But again, it's not as if like Dessers doesn't give the ball away, you know. What you get from him, I think, far outweighs what you don't, and it was a really fantastic looping strike to make the afternoon more enjoyable. Because as we spoke about pre-match, the fact that Igamane wasn't starting and it was the same starting 11 as last week, the fact that there was nothing to play for. Played into a half time and a first half that was just entirely flat, and at least in the second half, the crowd that was here got something to enjoy, and some good football, it should be said, after the break.
And Igamane's the type of guy that's going to get people excited. He's going to give you something to actually perhaps enjoy watching. So you leave here, and on black and white, he has scored once and Cyril Dessers has scored once. Two very different performances, or two very different afternoons. Cyril obviously misses something of a gilt edge chance in the first half for the header. Of course he misses chances. Of course Igamane is going to miss chances. I think we've had a couple of pieces on the site the last few weeks, the interview with Hassam Sharai, interview with a couple of his mentors back in Morocco, and they all said the same thing. He's this street style player, he's different, he's got that unpredictability. Unpredictable is good. Now it might not fit into a rigid structure, but you need to have guys like that in a squad. You need to have guys that have got the potential to finish a chance like that. How many other players in this squad get the ball in that area, flick it up and finish it like that? He's probably the only one that would even have attempted it, in our mind actually executed it. So they have to speak about players to build around next season. He's the one. I'd be surprised if Rangers sign a number 9 that offers more than he does. He's going to go for a lot of money one day. Next season may well be his second season and his last season here. Rangers need to utilise him in the right way. They need to develop him in the right way. They've got a talent, they've got an asset on their hands. Just use him, nurture him, get the best out of him, and then sell him for a few pounds.
And play him.
Ultimately, the only way he's going to get better, as you say, people mention these raw, rough edges. If you don't play him in games, he's never going to polish them out. You can do so much work on the training ground. It's days like today, playing him in the big European games where he's shown, playing him in no firm games, or had his goal at Parkhead, experiences, putting him into different situations, different challenges. That's going to bring the best out in him, not sitting on the bench or playing on that wide left-hand side.
Yeah, and it remains a really bad reflection of Rangers in the second half of the season. He's only started 2 or 3 games since scoring, I think it was his 10th and 9 league goals here against Aberdeen in January. But we digress. Widely speaking, Barry Ferguson's first win at Ibrox. I think it had been 6 games before this one. The issues that he's inherited have been much wider than him, Chris. But equally, I think probably it's fair to say that the last number of weeks have shown why Rangers need someone with, in my mind, it's not even experience, but an ability to coach a team who can dominate the ball comfortably. Because that's what I think you see in the first half. And arguably, again, it was only really when Rangers got a little bit of space after the break they started to play. This is a team who look at their most comfortable in games where they have 40% of possession instead of 60% of possession. And that's quite a big problem. But a good moment for Ferguson to get his first win. And I think we'll maybe see a bit more rotation on Wednesday night with that in mind. I would not be surprised if you see the same starting 11 bar Igamane in for Bayrami.
I think so. I know we did mention pre-match. It felt like a team Barrie going for a result rather than a performance or a learning exercise, because he wanted to win here. Of course he did. It would have been a real shame for him if he had that moment at Parkhead, had the win over Fenerbahce and not had a domestic win here. So I'm sure he'll go home tonight and be a bit happier, and we'll have that off his shoulders. Come Wednesday night, he'll then want to bow out here with a win. He won't want to have his lasting memory of being Rangers manager at Ibrox, a couple of drop points against Dundee United. So I don't think we'll see a whole raft of changes. Going by his press conference, you won't see Danilo starting. You certainly won't see Oscar Cortes starting, given his comments on him. So the rest of the squad, given injuries and other issues, almost picks itself. I would like to see Rice get a start. I'd like to see Finlay Curtis get some game time if the opportunity is there. I'd like to see Nsiala get some game time, as we touched on pre-match. But in terms of Cortes, I thought he was really interesting on that post-match.
He was interesting on it. We'll finish on that. If I'm paraphrasing, he said, you need to earn a place on my team. I watched training. Will Cortes get a chance between now and the end of the season? Maybe. It was very revealing that Tom Lawrence came off the bench before him. But again, he's a young guy. He's 21. He's coming and he's had a season where he's had all these injury problems. Not really his fault. I would have liked to see him get some minutes. Ultimately, this is it's the decision of the manager to influence these things. But that's why I think that the Rangers' need for a sporting director has been so apparent, because so many of their decisions have been short term. Cortes is going to be here next season and Tom Lawrence isn't. So again, the argument would be, well, whether he's been good at training or not, he can't have been that bad. Surely let him get 15-20 minutes towards the end of this game.
Depends how bad it has been. Maybe I think it's a very Barry Ferguson type of answer. That it goes back to everything that Barry is as a Rangers player, as he is as a Rangers manager, as he is as a Ranger. He demands the best every day. He's not just going to hand out appearances for this club just for the sake of it. I think he's made the same point with some of the younger players as well. You need
Can I just throw something back to you though, from the devil's advocate point of view?
it's end of season dead rubber, and it means absolutely nothing.
No, but just like of the even players that he's picked consistently, could you say that with every single one of them? Like not to pick on Dessers all the time, but could you say that whatever you said there about the best every single day? Does that apply to the team decision? Every manager is going to have players that they like, players that they don't like, but to me it just feels a little bit. I don't know. Even Danilo, I thought coming off the bench, he was bright enough. I agree with you. We're probably not going to see them play on Wednesday night, but just mix it up a bit, you know. If to give us some fresh talking points, if nothing else.
I'm running out of fresh talking points. I've done a lot of talking points over the season. I understand where Barry's coming from, but as we touched on before the game, these games had to be a bit more of a learning opportunity for Rangers. They learned very little once again today. If Cortes doesn't kick a ball between now and the end of the season, what are the realistic expectations of him heading into the summer? Where's he at mentally, never mind physically, in terms of his sharpness? So he needs games, obviously, but it's up to him now. They'll be back in training this week. Can he do enough in that short time to get a start against Dundee United? You would have to doubt it, but maybe Barry will see, like, just go and give him 10 minutes at the end, and we'll see. But overall, even if he was to start the next two games, it's still a bit of a wasted opportunity because he had to start more than that. He's been fit for a long time now, been in the matchday squad for a long time now. The opportunity has almost been and gone for us for Cortes this season.
Similar, just as we finish on this, it's similar. You're going rotating it. You're so keen to get off the video. You're going into the Brimlin end there. Just finally, same for Inciala, who's warming up today. He wasn't injured. He was, I think, he was warming up today with proper on the bench. If you play him for the second half of the season, maybe take some short-term hits. If you play Hamza Igamane over Dessers, maybe you take whatever short-term hit Ferguson sees with that. Similarly with Cortes and even Finlay Curtis, who remains on the bench today. Perhaps then you know, okay, they can be my two first-choice left-wingers, or maybe they can't. Maybe Inciala can be my third-choice centre-half. Maybe Hamza Igamane, as you say, is ready to lead the line over a full season, which, I mean, compared to the quality Rangers have had in recent years, he is. But it feels like it's been a missed opportunity to learn the answers to those questions.
It has been, but
Thank you.
I think we can made that point when Barry was appointed. There was always a danger it would go down this road. Ultimately, the club didn't have many options. There was no perfect solution to the situation that we're in when Clement was rightly sacked back in February. They had to make that call then. Nobody else was going to take the job under those circumstances apart from someone like Barry. And when you put someone like him in, you're going to end up in this particular situation. They've not learned that much. Overall, it's been just a write-off of a season. So only two to go now, thankfully.
You said it, two to go. We'll leave it there. We'll, of course, be live with you right throughout the week, 9:30 on the YouTube channel. Loads of coverage to come as Rangers look for a manager. A takeover gets towards its final stages. Chris will be right across all of that. We'll join you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Thanks for joining us just now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and bye for now.